So oftentimes with numerical values, averages and medians paint a different picture, and oftentimes it's better to use the median time or the median that. And so what I want to show is the average time to contact a lead versus the median time. And you can see here there's a lot of variation. And so we're going to break it out but if there is data there, then it means they were contacted, which is a 1. And then you can close your bracket, and then now you have a 1 and a 0. And also, this isn't a table, so make sure you put everything in a table. And so you can do that by pressing Ctrl+T in your data. So I can't do it here because it's already in a table. But say you have here saying, if it's 0, then blank. If it's not, then subtract these two numbers here, right? To get the time between when they were contacted versus when they came in. And so equals if this equals 0, then we want nothing. And we need to convert this to minutes. And the way you do that is you need to multiply. You need to put this in its own sort of brackets. And in percent, that's 82 minutes. Or 82.9 minutes is 5.7% of a day. Okay, so we have that, and then we don't really need this. I just want to show you, but if you just have these 4 columns, you can do a lot of stuff with your data. It's just knowing how to manipulate it, what to look for. And if you need help creating these data sets, so you want to make sure you're highlighting the table. You see how the D is highlighted here? We don't want to do that. We want to highlight the table here. And you can see it in the formula table, right? And so just like that, we have the list. So I'm going to highlight this and then press Ctrl+Shift+V to remove the values. And so now, right? And so there's a formula, which is AVERAGEIFS, right? So average if Chris, average if Mark. And so the first argument here, column, the average range. So where are the numbers? Like, what are you trying to average? And in this example, it's going to be minutes to contact here, that. If you press Ctrl+Shift+1, you can format it as a number. Okay, so the next one is a little bit tricky in the sense that there's no median if. There's an average if, but there's not a median if, but there's a way around it. You can sort of recreate it. So the way we do that is we want to filter out every numeric, right? But now we can do the median because it's not going to count these as zeros because they're blanks. That's why we did if it's not contacted, then blank. So count if, and then we want to do contacted. This is 0. And then, so we need the sales rep is B3. Right? And then go to recommended charts, and then you can do the clustered bar. It's not a column. This is your column, but clustered bar. So median time to contact, by sales rep. And again, this is sort of dummy data. So, this is really good, right? I mean, on average, and by median, there numbers essentially smallest to largest and taking the middle value. So what you can say here is 50% of the leads were contacted in less than, what percent of the time was less than 16 minutes? What percent of the time was greater than 16 minutes? The median is saying 50% more, 50% less. Though the median, it's going to be low because you're adding $100 billion to one person, right? And so it's gonna throw that number off. But okay, so we have that, and now we're gonna do the exact same thing, but instead of the sales rep, we're gonna do the lead source. So what I'll do is I'll just copy this, and then I'll to lead source, and now it's working. And then not contacted, just need to change lead source here twice. Lead source, lead source. Oh, okay, and then we can, median time to contact, median time. In order to format it a little bit, maybe make it white or increase it, make it bold, however you want to do it. But essentially, that's how you can, calculate the median time, which is often better because it paints a better picture than, average time. Again, if you have 80, let's go into the data set. It's like if you look at these 3 numbers here, it has an average time of 31 minutes. So is that the way you want to see it? Or do you want to see a median time of 5.5? Because it's the middle number when sorted largest to smallest, right? And so the way it would work here, but with 4, the way it works is you would take the average of the middle two. So for example, the average of this is 30.8 minutes. But if you were to do the median, the median would be 18.1. And I'll show you. So equals average of these 4, 30.8, the median. But anyways, that is all I got for this one. And so if you have any questions about this stuff, median versus average, questions at data boards. And also